am going to click share. So now you should be able to access that link. And I would like you all to click on it and see if you are able to get in. So you can see people splashing in here on the top of the screen. So I am able to see that there are people in here. And if I hover over names, I'm going to be able to see exactly who is in here as well. So that is kind of nice for you as you are getting your students into a collaborative activity. If you're wanting to do a collaborative activity with your students, you're going to be able to see who is in here by just hovering over their names. So once you are in, I want you just to go ahead and to search for that emoji that expresses how you're feeling today and add it to this design. So I'm going to give you all about 3 minutes to do that. I'm going to set my timer here. And I am here for questions, so just jump in if you have a question. So if you click on slide number 5, that's the slide you want to be in, you're going to see, that's the slide we're all in. And you can see here on the top, it's showing me who is in this particular slide. I can kind of see it up at the top corner here. So if those of you who are finding this slide, it's number 5, slide number 5. Love it. Oh, lots of smiles. We have a not quite so sure face. I love it. Oh, that's a really sad one, Liliana. One thing that you can do if you have a class, let's say of 30 or 33, which I know in my classes were sometimes pretty large, I would probably have a few different slides so that maybe I would either divide the class into like 4 different groups. And so I'd have a group 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they all could take whatever slide that they were assigned. That's one way you can do that. Or maybe you have like 3 slide options. And so they're going to put, they can decide on which slide to be a part of. And that way you have sometimes a little bit more space. Have just about 40 seconds. Love it. This is also a great one if you wanted to have groups of students. Maybe you have 4 or 5 groups in your classroom, maybe groups of 3 or 4, and they all can be working in one design together, and then they could turn that in when they're finished. And so that's another way that you can do it. Tired, yes. Today was a good day. That's good to hear. Stress, yeah. So I want to show you up here on the top, I can add comments. And so there's my timer. So I can say, love seeing all of your emojis. And then I can actually add a sticker. So if I click this little, almost looks like a, I don't know, like a little taco, it is going to bring up all of these stickers that I can select from. So I can say, very good, and comment. And so if I was to comment on a specific, so I can do this if a specific student had a design they were working on and I had access to my student's design, I could add those individual comments as well. And then you can see down here, I also can add little emojis too. And then the 3 little dots are going to allow me to edit a comment or delete a thread or I can resolve a comment as well. All right, so this is great. So if you haven't finished yet, that's fine. We're going to move on, but you now have the link so you can back up to, you can stay on 5 if you wish to. I want to show you another thing that you can do. So we are going to bring in, and some of you already have played with the text feature, but when you are on the side menu, when you click on text, it is going to allow you to add just kind of your standard text box in large, medium, or small. So you can see I click on it and that comes straight in. It's going to give me a standard font, but I can go up here and I can select from one of the very many fonts that it has. So lots of different options here to choose from. And then I also can make this smaller, I can make it bigger. And the beautiful thing is a lot of these icons up on top are what you would see in Google or Microsoft. And so it's very common, like you probably are familiar with these because you've used them in other digital tools. So you can change the font color if you want, and you can, and this is kind of if you have time to do this, you can add an effect. And this is fun to add because you can make your font hollow, you can add shadowing, and you can even curve your font and add whatever kind of curvature that you want. So what I would like you all to do now is I would like you to, using that text feature, write a word describing what you're looking forward to this summer. And then if you have time, play around with the effects. Even if you want to play around with the animation up here, you are able to play around with the animation too. So I'll give you another 3 minutes to just play and do that. Beach, please. Yes. I need some beach time too. Happy hour. I love it. And so, and with those, and I'm so glad that you're using kind of these pre-made little templates for text. When you click on your box, your text box, you are able to change those words. So instead of the word shine, 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 if you click on that box, you're going to be able to change that to 3 other words if you would like to. Or you can just leave the words that come with it, and that is fine. That might make a lot of sense for this. Pool party, absolutely. I love it. Now, when you go into effects too, I want to show you that when you can change the color right here to be a different colored effect. And so you can choose all of the different colors that you see here to change that if you'd like to. Travel, yes. I'm excited for some travel this summer. Family vacation, yes. Really excited to see my kids this summer. About 1 minute left.
I have a question, Tisha.
Absolutely.
When you're collaborating like this, and if you're using it in class, can kids, like I noticed, like I all of a sudden can't find mine because there's so much. So like you said,
Yeah.
different slides or whatever. But can kids like click on something and accidentally erase the others, or you can only erase and edit yours?
Yeah, so you can, I'm getting a little echo. You can delete other students' things. Like if I clicked on this rest and relaxation, I would be able to delete that. So that's that, digital citizenship talk about, keeping things. See, when I did that, it erased it and now I can bring it back. So, and that's part of the scaffolding, I think, when you're using this with kids. First of all, knowing, like starting out with something, maybe they're just collaborating, you know, with a couple students or like groups of 2 or 3, or maybe having that talk beforehand and then building up to this, maybe giving them time to use Canva on their own for a while, and then, you know, bringing in that collaborative activity. You have to know your kids and what they're ready for sure. All right, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. So, so you have played around a little bit with the elements and the text. And so I want to bring in the photos, and photos are really fun because you are able to do a lot of photo editing in Canva. So I am going to, I'm going to put in the word fish. And so let's say that you really liked this one, but you didn't want the background for this photo. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, first of all, and then I'm going to go up to Edit Image, and I'm going to click on this BG remover. And when I click on the background remover, it is going to remove the background from my photo. And the beautiful thing about this is that you also can bring in your own photos in the uploads and then remove the background from those as well. So I used to always go to other apps to remove backgrounds and then bring them in. You don't have to do that. You can just do that straight within Canva. Also, sometimes I have to say that I have never removed a background from a photo that wasn't really clean. Like Canva does a really exceptional job of making a really clean removal of that background. But if you needed to, let's say, erase some or restore some of that, you could do that. And so if I click on restore, I'm able to I can change my brush size and I can restore some of that background so that it comes back. And so that's really nice if like you had a photo and like there was just part of that background you wanted in there, but not all of it. I would be able to, you could go in and just remove or bring back a little bit of that background. So I am going to, just because I know that we are running a little bit out of space, I'm going to duplicate this page. So you are also able, I'm going to actually duplicate it twice. I just clicked on those 3 little dots. And so now you can either go on to 7, 8, or 9. You can choose any of those 3 photos. And you are going to bring in a picture from the elements. So again, you want to make sure that when you do that, you are on photographs right here, photos. And then if you have time, I want you to edit using the background remover.
Can you show me again how to do the background remover?
Absolutely. So I'm going to click on the picture again. And then I'm going to go up to, so I have to be clicked on my picture. And then I'm going to go up here where it says edit image. And then I'm going to click on BG remover. And as soon as I click on it, it's going to start doing its magic and it's going to erase that background.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then if I canceled it so it came back, I'm just going to delete it. Also want to show you up here when I am in this search bar, if I click on this little filter icon, it's going to allow me to look for fish in a specific color. I can also search for things in a specific orientation, and I can search for something that is static or animated. And so if I click on orange, it's bringing up only orange fish. So another kind of a neat way for you to be really able to isolate your searches. And remember, if this is getting busy, you can jump on, I'm going to make another duplicate. You can jump on another page. I have 7, 8, and 9. I'll make one more. And 10 are all, oh, I see what I did. I duplicated, but all the images came over. So let me do this. Sorry, now I don't know which ones I can delete. I'll just do this. So you think about, just like digital storytelling and having your students create a story or tell a story. Or maybe maybe they're creating a scene from a book they're reading, or maybe they are creating a scene from something in a textbook that they're reading about. So lots of ways that they can kind of come together to collaborate in a slide like this. Love it. Oh no. That poor bear. Oh, the tent. Love it. Oh, that sweet little baby. Some of you are jumping in to the slide 11, and that's great. Jump ahead if you want to. And on this particular graphic, if you want to play around with the shadow feature. So I'm going to go ahead and let me see. I'm going to put in a beach ball. And I'm going to look for graphics of beach balls. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. And then when you go up here to edit image, you'll notice that there are lots and lots of things that you can do to add to your particular image. So if I look at, I can do a lot of things with the color mixes, the smart mockups. And actually I know what I need to do. I think we have to do this with a photo. It's not really well, it's littering, and we have littering on the beach. So if I go up to edit image here, I am able to go to shadows, and I can add a glow. I can add a drop shadow. I can add a curved shadow. I can add a page lift. So play around if you want with this particular shadow feature, if you want to bring something in and add a shadow to it. So again, I went up to edit image, and this is working. It only works, I feel like some graphics it does work. So let me see here. Might only be photos. I really thought this earlier today I was doing a graphic on here too. So if you want to find a photo and then add a drop shadow to it. Or play around with some of these other features too. You can also play around with the brightness, the contrast, all of those things as well. I'm just going to put another blank slide here if you want to move over to that spot to play around with some different styles too. Okay, so yeah, it's the photos that are going to allow for a lot of the, it's really like a photo editor. And so that the photos is where you're going to be able to add the shadows and all of those things. The graphics, your options are slightly different, where you do have some options with the kind of creating like filters and things, but they're going to be slightly different than when you're bringing in your photographs. All right, I love it. So while you are all playing and adding, I want to show you some other features and tools. And then I'm going to have you create here in just a moment from scratch based on a template that you would like to create for your classroom. So I've shown you how you can filter through and look at templates. We've gone through the elements and how you can find photos, graphics, videos, and audio. The uploads are really neat and that you are able to upload images from your Google Photos, your Google Drive, all of these different places, from your computer if you want to upload from your computer. And so you, so you can see, that when I go back to my uploads, I can bring in pictures that I have taken and brought from other places right into my design. So I'll bring a picture of my dog in here. And then just like with any other photos that you find in the library, you are able to remove the background from those images. So again, like if you've taken pictures of your students in the classroom or other things, you're going to be able to go ahead and edit those things. Another really great thing with Canva, and a lot of people don't know that you can do, is you can actually record yourself. So I am able to record with just a camera or screen share. And what's kind of fun about this is I can move my picture around. I can change it from small or from circle to rectangle. And then I also can change my filter on my picture. So I can change that. And then it also is going to allow me to retouch my picture, which is really nice at the end of a day. So those are all the things that you can do with your picture there. And so I love that you can do that because you don't need to go to any outside platforms to do your screen recording or your video recording. You can do that right from within Canva, which is beautiful. Okay, we've talked about text. You've played around with text a little bit. I want to show you styles. And so the wonderful thing about styles is if you remember when I was showing you templates and we found that one education presentation template and we wanted to apply that style to all of the slides, you can do that with lots of different color combinations or color schemes. And so if you wanted to apply, let's say, this glacial indifference to all of your slides, when I click on that, it is going to apply that to the slide I'm on. But if I wanted to apply that to all of my pages, it's going to apply that to all of my pages within the presentation. And so what it would do is it would change the fonts and the backgrounds to that particular style. So the ones that have scenes on them, it's not changing that because that is a picture that I overlaid over that particular slide. So the thing that's great about this is that you can shuffle it. So if you don't like exactly how the colors have kind of dispersed, it will shuffle those colors so that like maybe the backdrop changes to another color and then the font changes. So within that scheme, but it mixes things up. And so you can just keep shuffling until you get the style that you like. So I really, really like that feature because not all of us know what colors go well together. And Canva makes that really, really easy and fun to be able to use. So I love that. So you can look for all colors or just fonts. Audios is just going to isolate your audio within Canva. So I love that. If you're wanting to create a video and bring in audio of certain things, you can do that there too. Now, the other things here, there's background. So that's kind of obvious. It's going to change the background of my slide. But a lot of other features down below are ones that are hidden in your More menu until you're ready to use them or you decide to use them. So if I click, and once you use it once, it's going to appear on this side course navigation. So when I had clicked on add emojis earlier, now that emoji icon is on my course navigation. If I don't want it on my course navigation anymore, I simply click on it and click the X and that goes away. Because sometimes this can get really cluttered if you've used a lot of things in your More menu, but you don't want it always here. You want to keep this more clean. You can do that. When I click on the More menu, I have all of these other options. And so if I wanted my students, for instance, to draw in Canva, I am able to allow them to draw with different brush strokes. So maybe you bring in a template and you want them to write, or you want them to be able to do some type of a drawing within that template. They're able to come in here and draw. So and they can change the size of the pen stroke too. So you can have it really fine, or you can have it thicker. And then once you click done, anytime you draw, it is going to allow you to move around and resize that text. And so that can be really handy when you are creating activities for your students that really require them to write. And as long as they have a touch screen, they're going to be able to write directly on that screen. So that is a feature that I really love. I also really love this QR code builder. So if I wanted to basically take a URL and make that into a QR code, I would simply paste it and generate code, and that is going to come up into my design. Those are two of my very favorites. Character Builder is really fun, especially for if you're teaching littles and you want to have them do some visual digital storytelling and have them create characters. You can change skin tone, you can change hair color. It's a really kind of cool tool as well. And just explore some of these other more menu features. There's lots of hidden gems here. You can connect to your Google Drive, which is neat. You can bring in Giphy. You can bring in Embed, which is going to allow you to bring in your YouTube videos. The only thing that I will say is in our district, we have Giphy blocked by our Securely. And so teachers are able to use Giphy within Canva, but students aren't because it's blocked by the district. And so whatever's blocked by your district might be blocked in here. And so just kind of be aware of that before you have your students use one of these more menu items, make sure that it's available to them. Okay, I am going to back out and I am going to show a couple different app smash ideas, and then I'm going to have you find a template. So are there any questions before I back out of this particular slideshow? Okay. So right now I am in my home page for Canva, and you're going to see that I have this little box here where I am able to search for things, search for templates. It's going to ask me if I want to search templates or search my projects. So if I want to search like keywords from the things I've designed, I would search for under projects. If I wanted to search for templates, I would flip that. I would search for templates. So a couple different tools that integrate and play really nicely with Canva. One is Flipgrid. So if I type in the word Flipgrid, and Flipgrid is a video creation tool that's amazing, you are going to find 196 templates that are already created for Flipgrid, which means when students are creating a video in Flipgrid, this is going to fit those dimensions. So you can see we have some that are kind of this, we have the ones that are vertical, we have some that are horizontal, but you'll be able to go through here and find maybe some, and students will be able to too, find some backdrops that they would want to bring into their Flipgrid videos. And so what they can do is that they can download these and then they can bring them into their Flipgrid video when they're creating their Flipgrid recording. And so I love that partnership between Flipgrid and Canva. Another great partnership is Pear Deck. And so you'll be able to find some Pear Deck templates that have been created specifically for Canva. And you're going to see when I hover over here that like this one is 1 out of 6. And so it is going to have 6 different slides within that presentation. So if you're looking for Pear Deck templates that can work within your Pear Deck presentations, you can find those there as well. And then the last one that I really like is the Book Creator partnership. And actually, there's a couple different things I want to show you with Book Creator. So first of all, you're going to find lots of templates, 95, that are already in here. But what is neat is if I go in to my Book Creator account, and I want to create a new book, and let's say I want to click a square book. If I go up here to my plus sign and click on more, I'm going to be able to connect directly to Canva. And when I click on Canva, I'm going to be able to find some templates that are in that template library made just for Square Books. So if a student was in here and they wanted to find, say they wanted to use a book cover, everything on this book cover would be editable. So they can customize it, they can make it their own, and then they would go ahead when they were done and add it straight to their book. And then it is going to just move right into their book creator book. And so really great way to kind of combine the amazing features in Canva with your book creator books that your students are creating. Does anybody have any questions about any of those things?
I do.
Okay, sure.
Is that book creator account free for educator?
There is a free account and there is a paid. I find that it's best for, the free is best for elementary because I think they allow you, I don't know if anybody in this webinar remembers the amount, but I want to say it's like you get maybe 30 to 40 books that can be created. And so like for a class, a class of an elementary class, that would be a great thing because you're going to be able to create that many books at one for every student for your class. But when, if you had like a high school class, then that free account probably wouldn't be enough because you're going to have multiple students within that class. So has anybody in this call had any experience with Book Creator? Yeah, it's a great tool to use, but not all districts have subscriptions. We don't have a subscription in our district either, but it's really fun. All right, so what I would like you to do is I would like you to look for a template. So there's a couple different ways that you can look for a template. You are able to look for a template by kind of scrolling here and looking at this more menu and just kind of scrolling through all of the ideas. Another way that you can search for a template is just typing something in here. So maybe you wanted to look for a comic strip template. When you click in comic strip, you're going to see all of the different comic strip templates that come up. So that's another way. You can also, you'll notice, be able to favorite things. If you find one you like and you want to remember it for later, you can do that. And then you are able to just, if you wanted to actually just use it, you click on it and it's going to bring you right into a design where you can begin customizing. Another way that you can search is you can go up here to the purple button and you can click create a design and you can search through your options here. And one thing I really want to make sure that I draw attention to is you are able to import, let me go back out here. You're going to be able to import your PDFs or like worksheets, handouts that you maybe have stored in your, maybe it is a Google Doc that you have, or maybe it's in your Microsoft account, wherever you have those things stored. Maybe it's on your desktop computer. You can click on import file and you're going to be able to bring those things into Canva. And when you bring it in, it is actually going to just take that PDF or file, and it's going to make everything on it customizable. So you'll be able to edit the font, you'll be able to add images. And so I think that's a beautiful way to start with Canva, because you can start with something that you already have that you just want to make better, bring it into Canva, and then you'll be able to make it more visually appealing, or maybe make it more just customize it however you want to customize it, and use all the beautiful photos and graphics and things that Canva has to offer. You also can bring in your photos here. You can also add a custom size. So if you knew that you wanted a specific dimension for something, you'll be able to put in those dimensions and make something that specific size. So right now, I want you just to start searching for things that you would like to create and bring up a design. So let's say we decided on a comic strip. I'm going to type on comic strip. I'm going to find one that I like. So let's say I like, I'll do this one with the cats. As soon as I click on it, it brings it into my design so I can start working on it. And then you can see everything that I click on in this design is going to be able to be moved, changed. I can change the colors behind in these squares. Everything is customizable. And then you can see this particular comic strip design even has an illustration set to go with it. So if you wanted students to be able to bring in the different icons from these other pages, they would be able to bring those into their comic strip. So when you think about, you have your students maybe read a section of a text and you want them to be able to create a comic strip that synthesize the learning and make a comic strip from it. They would be able to do that. So kind of fun. So I want to give you just a few minutes. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. You might have already found something to find something. And then I want to show a few more features and ways to share your design so that you will hopefully be able to create something that you could maybe use in your class next week. So I'm just going to set my timer for 3 minutes, and this is a great time to ask questions if you have questions. So again, for those, yeah, go ahead.
I had a question about the book.
Yes.
When you create the book, is it only online access that they're able to read it, or
in Book Creator?
Yeah.
So let's see, let's go back to Book Creator. So when you create it, let's see. So here's the share button up here. So you are able to publish it online, or you can download it as an ebook. So if I published it online, I could decide if I wanted to make it public or private, and then I could publish it here.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it is cool.
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. You can see that you can even have it read to you, which is really neat too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I wanted to mention while it's on my brain is in the settings menu here, you are able to change the language. For students who speak another language, they can actually change the language of Canva so that it's all in the language that they want. So that's kind of a neat feature to be able to have as well. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'll wait like 20 more seconds because I want to pause just for you guys, for all of you to find your templates and ask a question if you would like. Okay. I think I've shown you most of the things in this side navigation. One thing that's a kind of a cool feature to know about is that if you, let's say, had another design and you wanted to bring a page of that design into another design, if you click on folders, you're going to be able to grab designs from other things and bring them over. So I love that feature. It's a feature I did not know was there forever, way too long. And when I found it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that would have saved so much time. Another thing that's kind of cool is if you click on file, you're going to be able to bring in rulers and guides. So if you want that for just really being able to be precise, you can bring in margins if you would like to and show print bleed. So all of those things. Another thing that you are, what I really love about Canva is all of, well, there's a few things, lots of things I love about Canva. One thing that is great is if I wanted, let's say, you created a template, maybe it was a comic strip, and you wanted the base comic strip to be locked so students couldn't move things around, and you only wanted them to add to it. Couple different ways that you can do that. If you wanted to lock the entire design, you're just going to click this lock button, and then everything is going to be locked in place where they can't move it. If you wanted to lock only certain things. So maybe I only want to lock this top row. I can drag my cursor over that top row. And first of all, I can move it. So that's kind of nice when you want to move things around. But then I also am able to go to these 3 little dots and lock those things in place. So that's a really great feature. If you want to unlock it again, you can go ahead and click on the little button and it's going to unlock it again. You also are able to change transparency, so make things lighter if you want them lighter. And you are also able to duplicate things if you want to duplicate things by clicking that. So again, sometimes those 3 little dots hold some really hidden gems. This is where I can position something from the top to the back. So if I want to like layer my elements on there, I can do that. Up here in this share button is where all of the options for sharing is. And there's like every single option you can possibly think of. So I showed you before that if I want to just change edit access, this is how I do that. So view, comment, or edit. I also am able to go and download in a variety of forms. So image forms, so JPEG or PNG, PDF, standard or print, SVG for those sharp vector graphics, 3D printing type things you want to do, and then MP4 video and GIF. So remember, you can create videos in Canva. So if you go into your templates and you search video, you're going to be able to layer audio and videos together and actually create a video. You can crop it, you can do lots of things with that video. It's really, really cool. Down here, so a lot of people don't realize that if they just scroll down a little bit, there's this beautiful more menu. So when I click on more menu, I have all of these options for how I can share things. I can do a view only link, I can present, I can get a template link. So if I want every student to have a copy of something, I can do that. I can save things to folder, I can make a QR code for my design. I can present and record my design if I want my picture to be over the design and talk through it. I can publish something as a website. So you literally can make a website in Canva and publish it, and it makes it its own website, and all the links are clickable, which is amazing. I can embed, and then I can even create social media graphics that I send out to, I can tweet it out from Canva. I can send it out to Facebook from Canva. And so just play around with some of these different options. I can send something to my Google Drive. So maybe you create a presentation in here and you want to save it in your Google Drive folder as a Google slideshow. You're able to do that too, and this should connect to your Google Drive. So lots of really amazing features. You also can share a design to Google Classroom. So I think you all are using Schoology. And so I'm going to share in my follow-up email that, I'll share it right now. I have this, if you are wanting to connect this with Schoology, I'm going to share that with you so that you can read through the instructions on that. There that is. And yeah, like so many possibilities for how you can be able to create and have your students create in Canva. I also want to show you that you can actually create assignments and assign them to students in Canva as well. So if you wanted to go down here to classwork, you can click on new activity. You can decide on the type of activity that you want to have your students be a part of. And then you can actually assign it. So let's say I want them to do this particular graphic organizer. I'm going to click assign. I can decide if I want to assign it through Canva, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or a learning management system. I believe if you create an assignment in Schoology, you'll be able to grab that link in Schoology. So that's kind of depends on how you are sharing your things. And then, so let's say I wanted to share it in Canva. I would share as a new design for each student. I would give my instructions here. And then I am going to be able to decide what group of students that I want to publish that to. So you'll notice that in the home menu, I have, when I go into here, I'm able to create groups. And some, I don't know in your district if you already have classrooms built. I don't know if somebody in this call knows that. There are some districts that I work with that have their classrooms already in groups, or you can create your own groups of students depending on how it is set up. So really, like, it just depends on your workflow and what works best for you in the way that you share your links and your learning with students. So there's a lot to Canva, but what I think you'll find is that you can just have fun creating. Again, if you want to start really, I wouldn't say simple, but just something that's really practical, is go ahead and bring something in by importing file from your Google Drive or wherever you store your PDFs on your computer. Bring it in and just start playing around with a design you've already made and make it more visually appealing and engaging. And that would be a great starting point to just kind of get used to using the platform and going from there. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I want to we only have a minute left, and I can stay on longer if you have questions. But I hope that you learned a little bit today and had fun playing. I am going to, it says you need permission to open. Was it the Schoology one?
Yes, that last document you shared, there's the request access message.
Okay. I wonder if, let me try it one more time. This might be a locked document. Let me see. I might have to make a copy of it. It says anyone with this can view. So let me try again. See if that worked. It may not. If not, I'll figure out what's wrong and I'll send it in a follow-up email. And I'll also send a one-pager of resources too, so that you all can have that. Who is the best person? Should I send that to Matt and then have him forward it to everybody, or what's the best way to do that?
You can send it to me, Tisha,
Okay.
Angela, and then I can forward it to everyone who attended today's session.
Okay. Still doesn't work. Okay. I don't know why it's not working. This might be something that I'm going to have to, that I'm not able to share. So I will figure out what to do to get that to you. And I'm actually thinking that I might be able to just find this really quick, resources, and share it with you right now. Here it is. Just going to go ahead and share the link right now to this resource page. And put it in the chat. So please reach out to me if you have any follow-up questions. I'm happy to chat, and I will figure out what's going on with my Schoology resource and make sure that you all get that as well. So thank you all for being here today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing all the knowledge. I certainly learned a few things, and I'm a Canva user myself. So thank you for all the tips and tricks. Super helpful. Want to thank all of our participants for joining our session as well. And I will go ahead and mark your attendance with the team's report, so there's no need to complete any form for today. And no, thank you again, Tisha, and hope to see you in future sessions.
Yes, absolutely. It was so much fun. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
She go.